please direct your attention to the left of the stage to welcome the platform guests. First, please welcome from General Dynamics Electric Boat, Wilbur Glenn. Maid of Honor, Tanya L. Silva. Maid of Honor, Rachel Richardson. President, Newport News Shipbuilding, Jennifer Boykin. Supervisor of Shipbuilding, Groton, Captain Jeffrey Hayden. The Congressman from Connecticut's 2nd District and Chairman of the House Armed Services Sea Powers Subcommittee, Joe Courtney. The Congressman from Rhode Island's 2nd District and Chairman of the House Armed Services Intelligence, Emerging Threats and Capabilities Subcommittee, Jim Langevin. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal. Governor of the State of Connecticut, Ned Lamont. Deputy Chief of Naval Operations for Warfighting Requirements and Capabilities, Vice Admiral James Kilby. Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Ships, Biliana Anderson. The Congressman from Oregon's 2nd District, Greg Walden. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of General Dynamics Electric Boat, Kevin Graney, escorting the sponsor of the Oregon, Dana Richardson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Flower Girl, Maren Kendall Austin, granddaughter of Director of Waterfront Engineering, Jim Giddings, will present a bouquet of flowers to the ship's sponsor, Dana Richardson.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's christening of the submarine Oregon. The relationship between a ship sponsor and crew is time-honored and very special. It endures throughout the lifetime of the boat. The crew of the Oregon is fortunate to have a native daughter of the state of Oregon and a person who knows the adventure, sacrifice, and challenges of the military lifestyle. It's my great honor to welcome our very special guest, the sponsor of Oregon, Dana Richardson. And thank you, Dana, for bringing along your husband today, the recently retired Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral John Richardson. It's good to see you, Eng, and always good to catch up with a former shipmate. Today's event also provides us the opportunity to salute the thousands of people who work so hard in support of the Virginia-class submarine program. These dedicated people include the employees of Electric Boat and Newport News Shipbuilding, our supplier network, Navy leadership, the ship's crew, and our supporters in Congress. The contributions of all are embodied in this magnificent vessel. May I ask our seated guests to please rise as EB's employees singing group, the Subtones, performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. We at Electric Boat are delighted you are here to witness the christening of Oregon, the third United States naval vessel named for the 33rd state of our nation. This is an exciting time to be at Electric Boat. Over the last several years, christenings have become an annual rite of fall here in Groton. And over the course of our 120-year history, the EB team established a reputation for delivering the highest quality and most innovative submarine technology in the world. Our submarines provide our nation with a competitive advantage now for over more than a century, and will continue to be a critical part of our nation's defense for many years to come. We are fortunate to have a historic backlog of ships to be built for the U.S. Navy. Today, 11 Virginia-class submarines are under construction at our shipyard facilities. 9 more Virginia boats, with an option for a 10th, together known as Block 5, is pending award. In total, Virginia-class construction is expected to continue at a rate of at least 2 submarines per year for over the next 20 years. At this time next year, construction will start in earnest on the lead ship of our country's next-generation ballistic missile submarine, the Columbia, and will add to an already impressive backlog. To ensure Columbia's success, General Dynamics and the Navy are investing more than $2 billion in our facilities in Quonset Point, Rhode Island, and right here in Groton. These facilities will ensure we have the capacity and the capability to build submarines efficiently. We continue to hire and train thousands of new shipbuilders to support this growth. These jobs are vital to our regional economy. We're partnered throughout New England with universities, vocational schools, community colleges, and high schools to recruit and train this next generation of shipbuilders. This is meaningful work that develops important skills and provides each of us with an opportunity for not just a job, but a career in shipbuilding. And this growth is not without challenges. Our shipbuilding team, including our Navy, Electric Boat, Newport News, and our suppliers, must simply do better. Our efforts require world-class teamwork. Teamwork is built on trust and alignment toward a common purpose, and that purpose is designing, building, and delivering the world's best submarines. To succeed, we must scale our operations from our current pace while maintaining an unrelenting focus on safety, uncompromising quality, and affordability, what I call operational excellence. Today, you will bear witness to this magnificent ship. And while I'm only 5 days in my second career here at EB, I know it took world-class engineering, accurate and timely material procurement of thousands of parts and components from all across the country, a comprehensive and flexible plan, and gritty determination and execution by our New England and Virginia trade workforce. The result is one of the most sophisticated machines ever built in defense of our nation. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize 5 shipbuilders who have distinguished themselves by their extraordinary work on Oregon. They represent individually the collective change our workforce is undergoing. Long-serving, highly skilled shipbuilders are now passing the torch to very talented next-generation shipbuilders to carry forward the legacy of this important work for our country. First, over his 46-year career with Electric Boat, Larry Daniels of Department 248 became a first-class pipe welder. Larry's weld quality is outstanding, with a rejection rate of less than 2% in one of the most difficult welding arenas in the industry. He is known for his ability to get into any area on a submarine to complete a difficult weld. Larry, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Brittany Meyer of Department 243 has been a member of the pipe shop for the last 3 years. She's achieved first-class status in the department and has proven to be a leader on the deck plate. Brittany is responsible for several of the most critical systems that allow us to put boats in the water, including the trim and drain system. She's become an on-the-job training instructor and is helping to teach other members of her team the critical attributes of pipe fitting. Brittany, would you please stand and be recognized? Mike Thornton of Department 915 joined the Electric Boat Quonset Point team as a ship fitter in 1999. He quickly developed an interest and unique ability to perform our most critical and complex submarine welds. Mike has welded 1,152 inches of pressure hull seams and critical hull inserts on the Oregon. His attention to detail and dedication to quality workmanship is always top shelf, providing us with world-class weld quality acceptance rates. Mike, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Haley Hyder, who joined EB 2 years ago, is a sheet metal supervisor in Department 244. As part of her engineering rotation program, Haley started on the floor at Quonset Point. She then moved to Groton to become a sheet metal supervisor on the deck plate. Haley worked on the engine room of Oregon and later took over control of all sheet metal activity on the boat. She's shown true dedication, professionalism, and a full understanding into building first-time quality. Haley's ability to learn quickly and overcome obstacles has made her a key asset to Electric Boat. Haley, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you, Haley. Steve Corr, who recently retired after 34 years with EB at Quonset Point, has the distinction of having welded ship sponsor Dana Richardson's initials onto the Oregon keel plate, that is now affixed in the passageway outside of the crew's mess. For more than 30 years, Steve had a weld rate acceptance of 99.5%. Steve, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you, Steve. And thank you all for your commitment to Electric Boat, your teammates, and our nation. I'd also like to recognize today a special guest in our audience, Rob Smith, the Executive Vice President of General Dynamics Marine Systems Group. Two more people I'd like to recognize as well. John Casey, a 40-year General Dynamics employee, a former president of Electric Boat, and a recently retired Executive Vice President from General Dynamics. John. And also, Fred Harris, former president of NASCO and a senior vice president here at General Dynamics Electric Boat. Fred? I now have the pleasure of introducing a new friend of mine and a longtime friend of Electric Boat, the leader of our Virginia program shipbuilding partner, Jennifer Boykin, president of Newport News Shipbuilding. Over the course of her 32-year career, Jennifer established a reputation for effective collaboration, team building, and a profound understanding of a very large, complex business. Jennifer, on behalf of everyone at Electric Boat, welcome, and please accept my best wishes for your continued success. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the president of Newport News Shipbuilding, Jennifer Boykin.
Thank you, Kevin. And good morning, everyone. Distinguished platform guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most especially Oregon sponsor, Dana Richardson. I am privileged to be here this morning representing the more than 25,000 shipbuilders from Newport News Shipbuilding, many of whom have made significant contributions to this, the 20th Virginia-class submarine we are christening today. This submarine is a testament to the strong work ethic of our shipbuilders and our partners here at Electric Boat. Whether we're talking about welders and planners from Electric Boat or pipe fitters and electricians in Newport News, our combined shipbuilding team comes to work every day to do their very best. That's what we do. It's what we expect. And it's what our Navy depends on when they take Oregon to sea. As Kevin mentioned, equally important are our partners in the Navy and our supply chain across the United States, whose extraordinary skill, commitment, and hard work have also enabled us to be here this morning. Shipbuilding is how we serve our country, and that's something that we all take very seriously. It's why I can stand up here this morning with great confidence and say that this submarine represents the very best of American innovation, quality, and pride. But there's another something special that Oregon has, and that's her sponsor, an Oregon native who is a Navy wife, mother of 5, and one of our Navy family's greatest advocates. It is said that a ship sponsor imparts her spirit onto the boat, and with Dana Richardson's steadfast support, Oregon will possess a spirit of adaptability, fortitude, and endurance. And when you combine all these great qualities, Oregon and her able crew are sure to enjoy a powerful advantage in their mission to maintain a presence around the globe in defense of our country for decades to come. Dana, thank you for your commitment to Oregon, our sailors, and their families. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize her husband, recently retired CNO, Admiral John Richardson, for your many years of service. Thank you, Admiral. To all of our incredible shipbuilders, thank you for your incredible dedication and your hard work. And to the Oregon crew, congratulations on this historic milestone in the life of your boat. Thank you.
Please welcome the representative from Connecticut's 2nd District, the Honorable Joe Courtney.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank Kevin and everyone from Electric Boat for the invitation to be here today for the PCU Oregon's christening and to welcome Kevin back to Electric Boat at an historic moment of growth and change. Anyone listening to the forceful, clear-eyed remarks that he just made a few minutes ago knows that he is ready for this task, which is going to be, as he said, a challenging one, but also an exciting one, and a productive one, and an important one for our nation. So again, welcome back, Kevin, and all the best with your great challenge and work in the future. The presence today of your partner, Jen Boykin of Newport News, and Navy leadership, Admiral Kilby, Secretary Anderson, represents the intense collaboration of industry and Navy to execute the Virginia and Columbia program so critical to our national defense. Please know that the Sea Power Subcommittee, with my colleague, Mr. Langevin, who serves, and also Senator Blumenthal, who serves in our Senate counterpart, will continue its strong bipartisan support for the most robust submarine construction plan that our country needs. Welcome also to my colleague in the U.S. House, Greg Walden, who is a senior member of the Energy and Commerce Committee, and who deserves great praise for his fine bipartisan work in recent years in addressing the heroin opioid crisis, securing critical federal resources to save lives and stop this national scourge that has hurt so many American families. And I want to publicly thank him for his efforts. By the way, he's also been barking a lot that too many of us say Oregon, so be sensitive when you're around to him. It's Oregon, okay? And we want to be, sensitive to our neighbors. We all watch Portlandia. We know what you're all like up there. So anyway, finally, it's a pleasure to welcome back to Groton the ship sponsor, Dana Richardson, and her husband, former Chief of Naval Operations, John Richardson. The Admiral and Mrs. Richardson were stationed here in Groton a number of years ago when he commanded Devron 12. And together they have devoted a lifetime of service to America's Navy. I can't think of a ship sponsor who's better prepared to take on the solemn duty to support the ship and crew over the lifetime of Oregon than Mrs. Richardson. As has been said, Oregon is number 20 in Virginia class and the second of a 10-boat contract procurement which Congress authorized and appropriated back in 2014. Looking around this facility today, though, in the presence of two other submarines in construction, Iowa and Rickover, it's easy to see that Oregon is part of a new generational effort to build America's submarine fleet for the 21st century. All this construction has been ramping up at a steady clip, and the state of the growing and changing submarine workforce in this region is constantly under a microscope. A few weeks ago, the U.S. Department of Labor issued a report card for the Eastern Connecticut Manufacturing Pipeline Initiative, a program that was stood up 5 years ago to accelerate pre-apprenticeship training to close the skills gap and fill jobs in metal trades, design, and operations. The review was stellar. The program ranked in the 95th percentile for job placement compared to similar initiatives around the country. Initially targeted to result in 300 placements, instead, to date, more than 1,500 people have gone through the program and landed good-paying jobs right here at Electric Boat and other companies in the state. The timing for this initiative could not be better. This past January, the shipyard workforce passed the 17,000 mark, and with new work and older worker attrition, EB will need to hire 14,000 more in the 2020s. Kevin and his team will have their hands full, but we now have a model in place which we know works. And the successful christening of Oregon is tangible proof that it does. So congratulations today to EB and the many skilled hands that were brought together over the past 5 years to achieve this milestone. To Commander Patrick and your crew, please know that the imagination, sweat, and work that was poured into this vessel by the working people of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Virginia represents our passion for the success of all your missions and voyages in the years to come as you do great work for our nation. Thank you very much.
Please welcome the representative from Rhode Island's 2nd District, the Honorable Jim Langevin.
Well, good morning. It's great to be here with this great EB crowd. I want to begin by acknowledging my colleagues in government, Governor Lamont, Senator Blumenthal, my colleagues in the House, Joe Courtney, our chairman of our Sea Power and Projection Forces Subcommittee, with whom I have a very close working relationship with, along with Representative Greg Walden. I want to welcome you here today as well. Greg, great to have you here today for this important christening ceremony of the USS Oregon. Let me also acknowledge and congratulate publicly Kevin Rainey, the new president of General Dynamics Electric Boat. Kevin, I look forward to working with you and getting to know you in the years to come. And I also want to acknowledge Jennifer Boykin from Huntington Ingalls and Newport News. Thank you for being here today as well. Most especially, though, I want to welcome and acknowledge Mrs. Dana Richardson and thank her for taking on the important role of sponsor as the ship begins her journey with her crew. I know that the Navy could not have made a better choice. I also just want to recognize Dana's husband and former Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral John Richardson, who is with us here today. Admiral, I want to congratulate you on your retirement. I want to thank you for your service and for a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, this submarine will be the 4th vessel to bear the name Oregon, with the first dating back to 1841. I know that the people of the Beaver State will be very proud that once again the USS Oregon will fly the American flag on the high seas. The USS Oregon is now the 20th Virginia-class submarine and is a testament to the hard work and the excellence of our submarine industrial base and the men and women of General Dynamics Electric Boat and Huntington Ingalls Newport News Shipbuilding, who work so hard every day to build the boats that help keep our nation safe and secure. And I thank each and every one of you for the extraordinary work that you do in producing these extraordinary vessels. You should be so proud of what you've accomplished and what you continue to do for our country. You make sure that our sailors never enter a fair fight. We want to make sure that they have every advantage. And it's because of your work that we make sure that that happens. The Virginia-class submarine is the finest submarine in the world and absolutely essential to our national security. Attack submarines protect us and our allies and ensure that the United States maintains our undersea dominance. As always, at the forefront, of course, of my mind are the sailors who will have the honor to serve on this boat in the years to come. They are not just the future of the Oregon, they are the future of our Navy, and we are so grateful for your service. With that, I know we all wish the Oregon a long and distinguished service to our nation. May God bless the USS Oregon, our sailors who will serve in her, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome United States Senator from Connecticut, the Honorable Richard Blumenthal.
Thank you. I am so proud and excited to be back here for another christening, finally one named after a state that has some access to the sea. And to welcome back Admiral Richardson and his wonderful wife, Dana, who are themselves a world-class team, to use Kevin Graney's term. Admiral Richardson, welcome to the ranks of veterans. And let me say thanks to all the veterans who are here today. If you have served in our armed forces, please raise your hand so we can thank you for keeping us free and strong. Thank you. And I want to say a thanks to the sailors who will be the crew on the Oregon. Thank you for your service, and thank you to your spouses, the military spouses who are part of the Navy and our armed service team. Thank you to the crew and to the spouses. And we ought to be doing more for those military spouses than we do now. The ship that we christened today is literally part of a technological revolution in the United States Navy. We are building a new class of weapons platform that is stronger, stealthier, more versatile than any known in the history of the United States and in the history of warfare. It can launch missiles. It can do anti-surface warfare, anti-mine warfare, supports surveillance, special operations, and other important functions. It is the most valuable part of our weapons platform arsenal. And that is why we have chosen to invest and commit to maintain our undersea superiority, but not without challenge. From our near peers, Russia and China, we face an increasing threat. From rogue nations around the world building their own undersea weapons platforms, we face challenges. And we need no more urgent reminder about those challenges than the recent launch by North Korea of its missile just days ago. These intensely disturbing, even alarming events should remind us of the need for renewed commitment. And it takes more than just rhetoric. It takes commitment of resources. And I hope that the latest National Defense Authorization Act, now before the Congress, will be approved without delay so that we can devote the necessary resources to keep faith with our superiority under the sea. I want to say a special thanks to all the men and women who come to work every day at Electric Boat. Thank you for your service to our nation. Your service is as important as the men and women who serve in uniform because you make it possible for our military men and women to never have a fair fight. Thank you for your service to our nation. And we will need more of you. We will need thousands more of you, and we have an obligation to that military industrial workforce to train more, provide more skills, enable more opportunities, and give you the support that you need. I think we can be confident that we will meet those challenges from our adversaries because of that world-class team that we have here and around the nation, the suppliers and the contractors who make it possible for us to be, in fact, here in Groton, the submarine capital of the world. We will continue to produce those great submarines that have distinguished this place and the people who come here to work over so many years. And welcome to Kevin Graney. Thank you for your service to our nation. And thank you all for being here today. God bless the Oregon and its crew, and God bless our great country. Thank you.
Please welcome the governor from the state of Connecticut, the Honorable Ned Lamont.
Good morning, everybody. It takes a lot of people to launch the most advanced submarine in the world, the USS Oregon, keeping us safe. You know, it starts with the crew and not just the technical expertise that you'll bring to the ship to keep us safe, but you also carry with you the values from your family and community and your nation, the principles to which is part of the cargo of the USS Oregon, and we wish you Godspeed. I'm also reminded how much it takes to have the most advanced submarine in the world, generation in and generation out. You know, I come from a technology business where if you can stay ahead of the competition for a decade or two, you're doing pretty well. Well, Kevin, that's not good enough for the United States of America. An Electric Boat, Newport News have produced the best submarines in the world, generation in, generation out, and that's what we continue to do to keep America safe. And Kevin, we're so glad to have you on board. Day 5, we're keeping you pretty busy. I know he misses a little bit of the balmy weather in San Diego, but his wife is a Colchester girl, and she's gonna remind him every day, we love the change of seasons here. And Kevin, you remind us of the amazing people of Electric Boat as you introduced that keep us one step ahead of the competition. Everything we got to do to keep America safe. And I'll just leave you with a version of an old Irish proverb. There are good ships, there are wood ships, there are ships that sail the 7 seas. But the best ships are made by EB, and may that always be. God bless you all.
Please welcome Vice Admiral James Kilby.
Well, thank you. It's my sincere honor and pleasure to be here with you on this wonderful, crisp New England day. On behalf of the Navy and the Chief of Naval Operations, I would like to thank our sponsor, Ms. Dana Richardson, Senators Blumenthal, Representatives Walden, Courtney, Loggeman, Governor Lamont, Ms. Billiana Anderson, and industry leaders Jennifer Boykin and Kevin Graney for you and your organization's roles in making this day possible. Thank you. And welcome to all of you, government, industry partners, curious citizens, distinguished guests, and especially the crew of PCU Oregon. Today is a celebration of immense effort, technical skill, craftsmanship, and teamwork expended in building this magnificent submarine behind me. This christening will symbolically inject a spark of life the moment Mrs. Richardson smashes that champagne bottle on her keel. The invitation to sponsorship is extended to a woman by the Secretary of the Navy who embodies the future spirit of this boat and her crew. And like all the other speakers, I can think of no one more fitting than Oregon native Miss Dana Richardson. For almost 40 years, Dana Richardson has been the benchmark of support for our Navy. She is the devoted and dedicated wife of our most recent Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral John Richardson, and the mother of 5 incredible children. She is the champion of the Naval Family Framework, which is based on foundational principles of stronger families means a stronger fleet. The ability for the Navy to prevail in all future endeavors relies largely on the cohesion, health, and strength of our sailors, and by extension, their families. Dana, on behalf of the United States Navy, we are forever indebted to your incredible commitment and service in these contributions you have made. Thank you from the depths of our heart. To the government and industry teams that have built Oregon, you began this journey 5 years ago when work commenced on her, and we stand here in awe today as we christen her. Upwards of 6,000 men and women have come together to produce a critical component of the U.S. Navy's arm of undersea dominance. I'd like to share a discrete example of this huge effort. Several months ago, a team of 4 welders, Mike Loomis, Brendan Drake, Eric Barber, and Joe Rzuski, each with less than 3 years of experience at Electric Boat, successfully completed one of the most difficult and crucial welds pertaining to the ship's power unit. The crew trained for weeks in preparation to conduct this weld, and then they accomplished it in record time. I say again, in record time. Additionally, Eric Barber, who had just undergone a medical procedure, checked out of the hospital early in order to join his team and complete the weld. That, ladies and gentlemen, is commitment. This is just one of many, many stories of the true dedication it takes to build such a technical marvel. You have our sincerest appreciation and admiration for your hard work and support in delivering this superb submarine we christened today. The last ship to bear the name of the great state of Oregon was commissioned in 1896, and the final of 4 Indiana-class battleships. USS Oregon BB-3 was the newest and most advanced battleship of her time. Her main battery consisted of 4 13-inch guns and 8 8-inch guns. She displaced 10,000 tons and had a cruising radius of 8,000 miles. In her initial assignment, she supported the Spanish-American War and earned the nickname of Bulldog of the Navy. Today's Oregon is outfitted with the most modern sensors and weapons of our day. She will disappear beneath the waves and never be detected until a time and place of her choosing. She is a critical element of our fleet in the arena of great power competition. This submarine truly represents naval combat power. To Commander Patrick and the Oregon crew, the time for building this boat will soon come to an end, and your task is to build a cohesive, well-trained, and lethal crew who will set the standard for generations of crews to build upon. It is truly both a great responsibility and a great opportunity to be an Oregon plank owner. I am envious of you all. We wish you the very best as you bring this great boat to life and take her to sea to do our nation's bidding. Thank you for the tremendous opportunity to be here with you today.
Please welcome the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Ships, Biliana Anderson.
Thank you. To our sponsor, Mrs. Richardson, Senator Blumenthal, Representative Walden, Representative Langevin, Representative Courtney, Governor Lamont, Admiral Kilby, officers and crew of Oregon, distinguished guests, and to all of you who have come to Connecticut to witness the christening of this magnificent boat, good morning. As we celebrate today, it is an honor for me to stand before you representing the 76th Secretary of the Navy, Richard Spencer, for the christening of this fine boat, the future Oregon, SSN 793. It is also appropriate on a day like today that we remember and say thank you to the thousands of deployed sailors, Marines, soldiers, and airmen who, along with their families, are sacrificing so much to keep this great nation free. And to all of the veterans who raised their hand earlier in the audience, thank you again for your service. Shipbuilding is one of the most difficult undertakings we do as a nation. Building a warship takes that difficulty to another level, and no warship requires more diligence than the construction of a submarine. It takes perseverance, hard work, and attention to detail to meet every milestone in a vessel's construction that allows us to commemorate an event such as today's christening. Shipbuilding is a team effort, and it takes a dedicated Navy and industry team to build our nation's fleet. I am reminded of a famous quote that embodies this spirit. If you want to build a ship, Don't drum up the men to gather wood, divide the work, and give orders. Instead, teach them to yearn for the vast and endless sea. To the men and women of General Dynamics Electric Boat, the supervisor of shipbuilding Groton, the Navy Program Office and Naval Sea Systems Command, it is evident that you do indeed yearn for the vast and endless sea. You have labored tirelessly with your teammates to build this extraordinarily capable boat, and I congratulate you and your teams on another job well done. And with this christening, we also celebrate the namesake of this formidable ship. SSN 793 will be the third U.S. Navy vessel named Oregon and the sixth vessel honoring the people and state of Oregon to serve the United States. The first USS Oregon, a sailing vessel purchased in 1842 for the U.S. exploration expedition across the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans, and later surveyed the Gulf of Mexico. As Admiral Kilby mentioned, the second USS Oregon was the United States' third reinforced steel battleship commissioned in 1896. Under the command of a Civil War veteran, she steamed 16,000 miles from San Francisco to the Caribbean in 66 days to join the U.S. fleet in the Spanish-American War. A legend in her time, this journey captured American interest, sparked debate, and resulted in the building of the Panama Canal. The future Oregon SSN 793 will join the Navy as the 20th Virginia-class submarine. And like her previous namesakes, she will undoubtedly explore the world, inspire America, and leave an indelible mark in the defense of our great country. And now a word about our sponsor. Although she has been involved since the very beginning, this christening ceremony marks the formal beginning of a lifelong relationship between the men and women who will sail the Oregon and the vessel's sponsor, Mrs. Dana Richardson. Mrs. Richardson is, of course, a native of Corvallis, Oregon, and has served the U.S. Navy as a military spouse for the past 37 years. She will undoubtedly use that experience as she expands her family to include the dedicated sailors and families of the Oregon. On behalf of Secretary Spencer, I'd like to personally thank you for your service and welcome you to the Society of Sponsors of the United States Navy. To the officers and crew of the Oregon, I wish you fair winds and following seas in the days ahead. To all who are present today, we are indeed privileged to witness the christening of this exceptional boat into our Navy. May God bless her, her crew, her sponsors, her namesake, and may God bless America.
Please welcome the representative from Oregon's 2nd District, the Honorable Greg Walden.
Good morning. Okay, before we get started, we're just going to clear up one matter. It's Oregon. O-R-Y-G-U-N, Oregon. Everybody good with that? Perfect. I want to recognize the Deputy Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral James Kilby. Thanks for your leadership to the best sailors on the seas. We appreciate it. And Dana Richardson, our ship sponsor, and your husband, Admiral Richardson. Nobody knows nukes like you do, sir, and we are so honored that Dana is the sponsor, and the spirit that you will bring upon this great ship is something we will all know into the future. Thank you. And Kevin Graney, the new president, 5 days on the job, one submarine out, another coming every 5 days, right? We're going to get this. Good. That's the new pace. I want to recognize the Oregon Commissioning Committee as well, led by Jim Leisher and Arlo Gatchell. Would you both stand in the Oregon Commissioning Committee, wherever you are out here? Please stand up. They've done a great job, and we are really proud to have you here and your leadership back home. I want to recognize Governor Lamont and my colleagues, Congressman Joe Courtney and Congressman Jim Langevin and Senator Richard Blumenthal. You are all very fortunate to have such leaders, and we as a country are very fortunate to have the leadership that these gentlemen provide to give us the defense and the war capabilities that we have. They are friends, they are leaders, and they are patriots for America. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service in every capacity. And I got the opportunity to tour the submarine yesterday with Commodore Miller. Thanks for your leadership, and Commander/Captain Patrick and the entire crew of the PCU Oregon. We look forward to your service. Thanks for the tour, and Godspeed in the work ahead. I want to recognize the staff from our senior senator from Oregon, Ron Wyden's staff is here today, Ben Widnes, Lavanya Saritharan, and Chris Segoyan. If you all would stand, we want to recognize Senator Wyden's staff, who is representing the senator here today from Washington. Thank you for being here. And to all the members of the military, our veterans and their families who are gathered here today, thank you for your service to our country. I'm delighted, I'm humbled, and I'm honored to represent my great state of Oregon and to look out on such a powerful force of freedom as is behind us, the PCU Oregon, and to say thank you to the best fighting force of men and women that has ever sailed the seas. Theodore Roosevelt was the Assistant Secretary of the Navy when construction began in 1891 of the last USS Oregon. Roosevelt fought for naval superiority for America, and with good reason. And in 1898, the Oregon, under the command of Captain Charles Edgar Clark, and with 2,000 extra tons of ammunition and coal, would travel about 250 nautical miles a day. They battled harsh seas to join up in the North Atlantic Squadron in Peru on her way to fight in the Spanish-American War. Now, she burned through 4,100 tons of coal. She traveled 14,500 miles in just 66 days, which was an unprecedented feat. In fact, the New York Times declared the Oregon was, and I quote, the most famous vessel in the American Navy, and among the modern fleets of the world, there is no fighting vessel whose engines and batteries have accomplished more. She was called the Bulldog of the Navy, and she was said to have a bone in her teeth. The Oregon was called upon again in World War I, but by the time World War II broke out, Oregon's outdated structure meant her highest value was, sadly, for scrap and to further the war effort. Now, while it's been many years since the original USS Oregon sailed her last voyage, we shall always remember the brave sailors who so proudly answered the call of freedom. So today, we gather to carry on this storied tradition by christening the future USS Oregon, this fast attack Virginia-class, not coal-powered, but nuclear-powered submarine that will carry on the proud legacy of her predecessors. Now, this submarine is actually 26 feet longer and can travel underwater 12 knots faster than the battleship it's named for could travel upon the seas. The task to build such a submarine takes time. It takes thought, it takes resources, and above all, it takes skilled craftsmen and women. It takes the work and true American craftsmanship and innovation that you all displayed. Everyone who helped design and helped build this submarine was a great American patriot. You too are defenders of our nation's freedom. You have done your duty to help secure the safety of all Americans and our allies, and we thank you, especially the workers from General Dynamics Electric Boat, whose time and talent and who skillfully built this incredible submarine. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding these working men and women of America. Thank you for what you've done. Now, it is imperative for the sake of our nation's security that Congress provides our Department of Defense with the budget necessary to build out our Navy and strengthen our military. And thankfully, President Trump believes in this mission and is committed to supporting our nation's military and veterans, just as we on this stage are. His budget backed up his words on both counts, and as a result, we are able to make sure that the men and women who wear our nation's uniform have the latest equipment and the best training possible to defend our country and to protect themselves when they're in harm's way. And it is these men and women who will light the lights of this sub and give the USS Oregon her soul. They will secure our freedom. They will protect our future. I'm inspired by their selfless commitment. Those who answer the call to serve are America's best. For generations, Americans have served this nation with honor. They have selflessly sacrificed on behalf of people they will never know. Some have become prisoners of war. Other heroes remain missing in action, and too many paid the ultimate price, one that we can never fully repay. The USS Oregon and her crew know just how serious their mission is, hunting down and, if needed, eliminating enemy submarines and ships that are armed with capabilities of nuclear warfare. Retired Navy Vice Admiral Michael J. Connor referenced these fast attack submarines as game changers when it comes to working against rival military superpowers. And consider for a moment the gravity of this mission. The submarine behind us, or before you, has the capability to literally prevent nuclear war. The USS Oregon will not just be a guardian of the seas and a protector of freedom, but also she will be home to more than 130 sailors. Now, in the darkest depths of the ocean, her fortified hull, her advanced sonar capabilities will protect these brave warriors. And the security of America is their mission, it is their job, it is their noble commitment. Neither the life nor the work is easy, but the role of a submarine and its crew is pivotal for America's national security. It plays a large role in our country's power stance in the world, not just today, but for the many tomorrows to come. And even in the darkest places, I know the light of freedom will guard the USS Oregon, and it will guard her crew. And to them, just remember, as wet and dark as it is way down there, we might just have wetter and darker times during the long winters in Oregon. There's a reason we're called the Ducks and the Beavers. So today we will christen this ship with sparkling Oregon wine and water from Crater Lake. That's the deepest freshwater lake in North America. It's also about 2.5 times deeper than the published limit of this sub. It's a long way down there. The USS Oregon will navigate through the world's oceans, touching every corner of the globe as she protects our great nation. She and her crew will be a symbol of freedom and democracy to all who encounter her. I pray that the strength she projects will ensure the peace that we all seek, and that she will never see battle, never face danger, and always honorably serve. That she will return from each mission unscathed, and those who are among her crew will live long and prosperous lives. But should they encounter the face of evil, I know that she and they will live up to her great name and honor those who built her by doing what she and her crew were trained to do, and that's defend freedom-loving peoples. So fair winds and following seas to the USS Oregon and her crew. May God bless her and her crew, and may God bless these United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman Walden. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure to introduce the sponsor of Oregon, Dana Richardson. Dana was born in Corvallis, Oregon, where most of her family resides. Growing up, she moved around the United States quite a bit, which gave her practice with the ground always shifting under her feet. Dana met her husband, John, in York Beach, Maine, in high school, and together they began the adventure of Navy life. When military spouses say, "I do," they begin a life of service. They follow their military loved one around the world, hold down the home front during deployments, and offer their unfailing love and support. Along with raising her own family of 5 children, Dana has helped many Navy families, offering her support and showing with poise and grace how to navigate the unique challenges of marriage, family life, and Navy service. She's worked on military spouse initiatives and family programs, serving on multiple boards, and in a variety of leadership roles with organizations including the National Military Family Association, the Naval Officers Spouse Club, and the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. I know we're excited to have her here at our shipyard today, so let's give a very warm welcome to the sponsor of the Submarine Oregon, Dana Richardson.
Thank you so much. It is wonderful to be here, and what a beautiful day we have, don't we, in Connecticut? I mean, this is amazing. The sun's out, and what did I mean by that? Anyway, good morning. The weather is great. Happy to be here. I'd like to thank Electric Boat and Newport News for their tireless efforts to put together not only today's events, but this fine ship, the USS Oregon. You know, it takes a team effort and a team mentality from start to finish. Thank you to all our distinguished platform guests, and especially to Congressman Walden, who came all the way from Oregon and has his wonderful Oregon hat. Go Ducks. Thank you to our special guests in the audience. I want to thank our fellow Oregonians, the sub-vets who came out all the way from Oregon. Could you stand, please, one more time? Part of the Oregon Commissioning Committee, please. Yes. Thank you. You know, I've got to tell you, I had a chance to meet them last year at the Veterans Day Parade, and I flew out there and we got to participate in 2 parades, one in Albany and one in Roseburg. We had some of the crew come and join us, and you haven't seen anything before. You've seen a float with a Mark 7 torpedo on it and sub-vets sitting all around it, pulled through the great town of Roseburg. That was awesome. Thank you. Yes. So it is my true honor to be here today, and to have the privilege of being a ship sponsor is beyond my wildest dreams. I'm so thankful that I have my high school sweetheart with me today. We met many years ago in York, Maine, not too far from here. Such fond memories. A few family members are also here today. Our daughter Rachel, my cousin Howard, and my sister Tanya, who some of you might have mistaken for the ship's sponsor. She's ready and able, by the way. So the state motto of Oregon is, "She flies with her own wings." If you think about the meaning of this, you would realize that it describes an independence of spirit, someone with a sense of exploration, a rugged individual. Those elements are what make up someone from Oregon, a true Oregonian. Blazing trails and forging new landscapes. Those elements are also apparent in our crew in the USS Oregon. The teamwork required is what makes this independence possible. Huntington Ingalls shipbuilders and their families, Electric Boat shipbuilders and their families, the crew and families of the USS Oregon, and all of us here to support them. Today, we can all consider ourselves trailblazers at the start of an incredible journey. As a mother is proud of each and every one of her children, I too am proud of each and every one of our crew members. To the families, I understand the sacrifice you've given so far and the teamwork it will take moving forward. Our nation is stronger and safer because of your support. To the crew of the USS Oregon, today's ceremony celebrates the tenacity and the hard work you've put forth, and it has culminated in achieving this goal. Our nation relies on you to keep her safe and to defend her mightily. It is an honor and privilege, and I stand ready to serve as your sponsor. And let me just see if the crew is paying attention and is awake. Trailblazers. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dana, for your gracious remarks. Now I'd like to introduce Electric Boat employee Wilbur Glenn, who will bless the ship. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Let us pray. O Lord our God, the magnificent creator and author of all things, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. This is the day you have made, and we rejoice and are exceedingly glad in it. We give you all the honor and glory as we stand here today, thanking you for divine providence. We ask your continued blessings on those who are gathered here to dedicate this vessel, whose borders are in the heart of the seas. We ask for your continued grace, mercy, and blessings upon the men and women of Electric Boat who designed and built this magnificent vessel and perfected her beauty. Bless our leadership and our government officials, especially our president and military leaders. May they be guided by your wisdom when they are faced with decisions that may send our brave men and women into harm's way. Lord, we seek your blessings and favor upon our military and the submarine Oregon, and all who service it, who serve on it, as it serves its purpose of maintaining peace and protection for this great nation and the free world. A special blessings on the families and loved ones of these brave sailors. Let them know your presence during those difficult times of relocation and separation. We pray, Lord, for your strength and your peace to guide and keep sure this ship. Let her sail with strength and safety as she keeps safe this country, whose mantra is, "In God we trust." Let this mighty warship be an instrument of your strength to keep peace and to stop the evil plot of the enemy of peace. Lord, bless the Oregon and all who sail with her. May she sail swiftly and silently and surely, for it is written, "The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming, going, both now and forevermore." Bless, O Lord, the United States of America. Bless our world. Bless. Bless indeed. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Escorting the sponsor to the christening platform is Kevin Graney, accompanied by Representative Greg Walden, Vice Admiral Kilby, and Maids of Honor Tanya Silva and Rachel Richardson. The sparkling wine which will be used for the christening is LaRue Stoller from the Stoller Family Estate, Dayton, Oregon.
Now the moment we've been waiting for. You know the saying, just do it? Today we're going to say, just christen it.
In the name of the United States, I christen thee, Oregon. May God bless her and all that sail in her.